Hello again. Some viewers familiar with Jerusalem might recognise behind me the tower of the YMCA, which is something of a landmark in the city. Some people who watch my videos might perhaps have been pleased and excited to see that the government is apparently ready to crack down hard on illegal immigration to Britain, and they're going to pass a law which will put them on a collision course with both the European Union and the United Nations. It's going to be a really tough law that will enable them to discourage illegal immigration and chuck out asylum seekers and all sorts of other exciting things. What a guy that Rishi Sunak is. And that Home Secretary of his, what a woman. They'll put a stop to those small boats crossing the channel. The truth is, of course, that there is not the remotest possibility of any new law making the slightest difference at all to the situation. I've explained before that quite apart from all else, the Rwanda business is dead in the water and a complete red herring as regards reducing immigration. Section 16 of the Memorandum of Understanding, upon which the whole business is based, and to which I give a link in the description to this video, reads as follows. The participants will make arrangements for the United Kingdom to resettle a portion of Rwanda's most vulnerable refugees in the United Kingdom, recognising both participants' commitment towards providing better international protection for refugees. This means that even if by some miracle Britain passed a law which was enforced and allowed us to deport all illegal immigrants to Rwanda, we have already agreed that for every failed asylum seeker of ours that is sent to Rwanda, we will allow a vulnerable, that is to say old, sick or disabled, refugee from the Congo to come and live in Britain for good. The Rwanda deal is a swindle and was never intended to reduce the number of immigrants and refugees in our country. Not that this matters, because there's not the least possibility of managing to get a single person on one of those flights. We have not sent anybody to Rwanda, and we never will. The legal challenges, no matter what new laws are passed, are nigh on insurmountable. This is because whatever law is passed by Parliament, the courts have to decide if it is compatible with both existing law, that is to say, the law that is of this country, of Britain, and international law as well. Since the proposed law is clearly incompatible with international law, no court in this country will ever endorse it. It is dead before it's even passed. What about all this talk about returning them to a third country, some safe country through which they pass to get to Britain? Well, that would be France, of course. Do any viewers imagine for a fraction of a second that France will let us send back 80,000 asylum seekers a year to them? Seriously, does anybody think that? If the French would cooperate in that enterprise, you might wonder why it has not already been tried. Why has Rishi Sunak really announced this absurd new legislation which will have no effect whatever on immigration? Because in a couple of months there will be local elections in England, and unless a miracle occurs, the Conservatives will be absolutely slaughtered at the ballot box. This is particularly likely in those parts of northern England and the Midlands, the so-called Red Wall which voted Tory at the last general election. They're bearing the brunt of the policy of distributing asylum seekers away from London, and people in some of those towns are now growing angry because they feel that they are being used as a dumping ground for refugees, and they're furious with Sunak's government as a consequence. The new law is a little piece of theatre. It's a way of trying to show those people that the government understands their problems and that they're really determined that they're going to reduce the number of refugees and asylum seekers who will be turning up in hotels in towns in the north of England. It's all a game. It won't have the slightest effect on the scale of immigration to Britain, either legal or illegal. It's all purely designed to try and stop people voting Labour in the local elections this May.